Hold it tight. You see how the part is no longer showing. Then you can spray a little sprit on it to make sure that the track stays in place. Blow dry the track a little bit. Then when I come back, both sides will be completed and ready to do the basket weave. Now we're back. When you come back, both sides should look like this with no parts showing. All that should be showing is the leftover hair to cover the tracks up. On each side, you can just, you can just kind of like smooth it over, or you can take the flat iron. This is my small flat iron. You can just take it and just kind of rub it against the hair. Just giving it a little, to go the way you want it to go. Remember, you want the hair to be kind of straight. You want it to be kind of natural looking right here. Do it on each side. The steps I showed you on this side, you can do it on this side too. Then what I do is I take a little bit of shine of any kind and a little bit of sprit of your choice. Then I begin molding the hair over. Mold the hair enough so where you cannot see any tracks anymore. Looks very natural. Then what I do is I take a little bit more of spray it. Then I take my dryer to do the last smoothing of it. You see how smooth that is and how shiny it is? When I come back, both sides will be completed and we'll be ready to do the basket. As I said before, that when I came back, each side will be shined. Do you see how each side is molded over? All you have open is your middle space for the basket. Enough room to do it. No parts are showing, no tracks. Make sure on each side the track does not show. All you would like to see is the nice smooth hair flat ironed over. Now I'm going to begin showing you how to do the overlay basket weave. First we're going to begin opening the hair up. You're going to take one side, clamp it over. Depending on how tight the client wants her basket, you can tend to use just an inch of glue to start it off with. Me, I like to use a little glue so that it'll hold. So my first string is going to come right here. As you all see, that's just a pinch of glue. I'm going to take my first string from the bottom.
It's show time. It's hair show time. It's hair show time. It's 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 show time.
Make sure you keep the hair nice and neat. Then when you get around to the top, you have leftover hair from the back. We're going to cut each side. Depending on your client, you can lift it up and you can just do as I done in the back. Lay a little glue onto the head. It's not going to hurt. Spray spritz and begin drying it. You want to make the hair hard enough so that it will hold and not move out of place to mess up your top hairdo. See how that side is smoothed down? When I come back, both sides will be completed. I told you when I came back, both of the sides will be nice and flat. The basket weave is completed. The overlay basket. Now, as we all know, we are starting the quick weave for the pleat pin-up. The ponytail is molded to the crown of this young lady's head. We will now start tracking the head. Please look carefully and watch how I glue the tracks in so that you will not mess this hairdo up. Make sure that you start at the base of the ponytail, quick weaving this hair in. Pull it nice and tight, making a little circle. Or at least depending on the size of your client's head. Keep the tracks nice and close. Close enough that they kind of kiss each other because you don't want any gaps in your pleats. When I come back, the circle will be completed. When your circle is completed, it should look like this. Your circle should be more to the back instead of to the front. A little small circle is all you need for the pleats. As you see, you can see my overlay is covered up. You want to keep this little ponytail for the height. Depending on what type of height your client wants, you can make it flatter if they would like the hair lower. In this case, she likes hers medium. Now what I do is, I take the sprit of any kind, I spray the hair all the way through to make the hair get a little stiffness for the pleats. Then I take the dryer and run it over. It makes the hair look very messy. But that's what you want to give it the brittle look. Then you comb it out. Now for these pleats that I'm going to do right now, I start at the crown of the head. So when you start your pleats, you should split it down the middle. You can always add a color to make it a little more prettier. So make sure that you look at the head and you line your split up in the middle with the mold of her ponytail. Now, you can use either flat iron. You can use your small C-shaped flat iron, or you can use just a regular flat iron. In my case, I like to use the C-shaped flat iron because it gives it more of a bend. Then you take the hair and you spray a little more spritz. If it doesn't give you that first effect the first time, spray a little more sprit on that hair and flat iron it. Guarantee you the second go round, you'll have a pleat. Keep them nice and close. Moving along to the third pleat. Depending on how high you want your pleats, that's how small you'll do them. Same technique as before. This is for a medium pleat. You can use the duckbill clip to hold your pleats in place. Make sure your pleats are nice and neat. Always remember to take your flat iron and get in the inside so you can get the little leftover strings. Again, as I said, if the pleat does not come out crispy like that the first time, then you spray a little bit more spritz and you flat iron it again. Remember, keep your pleats close, and how I go up with them, that's how you determine the height of your pleats. Nice smooth pleat. As you can see, no hair left over but the overlay hair that's tucked in. You make sure you pull each string from the center of the head so that you do not have any gaps in your pleats. Spray the spritz, clean the inside of it out, and flat iron up. When we come back, this side of the pleats will be done, and I'm going to show you how to overlay the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, I've completed pleating this side of the hair. As you know, I started up here and I showed you in each detail form how you clean the inside out so there will be no strings hanging and the pleats will be completely neat. Now that I'm at the front of the head, you know, I'm going to do sideburns. You know what I'm saying? To give it a little detail, a little effect. And then I'm going to show you how to pin it back. First things are first, I'm going to pin it up so that you will learn how to pin the hair back so that you can overlap the other side. First is first, you take all the hair that you're going to use for the other side. You have the client to hold it. As you see, this is the very first pleat. We're going to tuck that back and we're going to stick a bobby pin in there. The reason for that is you don't want to get the two sides combined. Make sure you keep it neat. Now, depending on how your client likes her hair, if she likes her hair to be kind of spiked out in the back, you leave this like this and you stick a clamp right here over the overlay. You're going to spray this hair enough so that it will not come loose. Give it a little heat. And let it hold in place. Now I'm gonna work my way to the front for the sideburn. You see how neat my pleats are and how they're going up in an angle. Always if you can, use two colors, one base color and then the outline color. Pleat pin up. Now I'm going to work my way to her front and her sideburn. You always want to keep it neat. Again, like I said in one of my videos before, depending on how the client likes it, you can have the hair low over her eye. This one, she don't wear that type of stuff. So we're just going to spray a little spritz. Keep it neat in the front. You don't want people to see it and be like, oh my God, it's not neat. Keep the sideburns neat. If you need to, put the dry on it a little bit. But you want to keep it neat. Now I'm going to take my shears and I'm going to cut it in the sideburn angle. Remove all the unwanted hair. Spray it again and begin making the lines neater. Step 2, give this side a little shine of any kind that you choose. You see those pleats shining. The sideburns. Major detail, major detail. Make sure the center of your circle is nice and neat. You don't want any strings. See, nice and full, closed up. See it? Pleat pin up. Now I'm going to start on the other side. We're going to use the same form as we used before, but you want to overlap it, making like a kind of windmill type of form. So again, I'm going to stick the C-irons in, and we're going to start on the other side. This time, standing on this side, you look at the client's face, you pull each string up. Remember, we don't want them too big and we don't want them too small. So this is about enough hair. As I said in step 1, spray a little sprit of any kind, oil, comb it and make sure that it's neat and how you want it. I got the hair. Make sure you rub in the inside, want it to stay neat as possible, and flat iron it up. Remember when I showed you on the other side, if it does not make a pleat the first time, give it a little more spritz and flat iron it up. You pull it over as far as you can to close the top up. Put your clamp in to hold it in place. All your little hairs, just cut them on out. Spray the hair, let it hold in place. Then you want to start on the second one. But ladies, I would like you to look at it. You see how I got it turned over? You must always have one pleat going over so that the other one can overlap it. Nice and neat. Hold the hair over, start on pleat 2. Take your sprit, spray the hair. Clean up the inside, and again, flat iron. When you hear that little sizzle noise, you know you got you a pleat. See how close I pulled it? Not too close that you can't see in them, but you want them to be medium-sized pleats. Spray a little spritz. Now we're going to put the hand dry on it. Make sure your pleats stay neat. You want to give the neat effect with these. Same technique. Small piece. A little sprit on the hair. As we all see, it looks like sort of like a windmill pinup now. When I come back, the pleat pinup will be completed. Thank you. As you see, this side looks just like the other side before I did the sideburns. Look at it, nice and neat pleats. The key thing is to keep the hair neat. See, these are called medium-sized pleats, going both ways. Now later I'm going to show you how to do them another way. Make sure you watch so that when you overlap your pleats, they look similar to this. Nice and neat. See all in the inside how neat they are. Each pleat is coming from the center of my circle. This one, I'm going to do them straight across. See that? Nice. That's that red thing. Remember, we want to keep all our pleats very neat, kind of close together. See how neat that is? Check it out. Now what I'm going to do is, after you see the front of the pleats and how they're pent up, you see both sides are going both ways. So now the leftover hair from this side of my pleats that I've started with is right here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the hair and spray a little spritz. You see how it comes out? Showing that badass overlay. Now I'm going to twist knot the hair. And I'm going to have it spiked out back here. We wanted to have that wild look in the back to go with the detail that's in the front. This is what you call a pleat pin-up. Now, as we move to the other side that I've overlapped, ladies, you can take a clamp. You can clamp the hair that I've already knotted up. Put it over here, not forgetting to cut the little strings that's left over from the knots. Then you want to spray a little spritz on it. Taking 3 hairpins or bobby pins, depending on what the hairstylist likes to use. Me, I like to use hairpins. We're going to fold this side under. Look very carefully. Stick 1 pin right there. Fold it again. See how I'm doing that? Fold the hair. Put 1 more pin right here. And then we're going to stand the hair up for a knotted up pin up. Now all we do is stick a pin right there. When you get done, it should be nice and wild. You're going to cut all the leftover hair so that the pin up will stay neat. Now we're going to spritz both of the knots for the finishing touch. Remember, keep the knot neat. Neat is always good. Look at that back. Look at that back. Look at that back. Check it out. There's no spaces. The overlay covers up the open spot. Check it out. Nice. See how neat that is? How shiny. Now that I've have all the hair standing up, depending on how your client likes it, in this case, I'm just going to clip the ends off. But we're going to keep it nice and full. Just taking a comb and simply clipping the ends off. You're going to spray a little sheen around the whole head, giving it that shine, that effect that it needs. With a little spritz. Now, we're going to take the straight flat iron and do the spikes with. Remember, you want to keep it wild to go with the detail in the front. You're going to bend the hair a little bit, coming back the opposite way from where the knot is coming from. Step 2, you go from the other side, pulling a little piece out, bringing it back the opposite way so that you will have closure in the middle. Spray a little sprit, flat iron the piece. Again, step by step. When I come back, I'll be totally through with the pleat pinup. Now we're back and I am finished with the pleat pinup featuring the overlap.
It's hair show time. It's 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 show time. Let me tell you about the hair show in Chicago, April 13th. Man, we got the poppin' ponytail competition. We got the loctician competition. Man, we got the old school Marcel competition. We got the lace battle. We got the braid battle. We just added the finger wave battle. Check us out.